There's something really good about coffee, but there's something really, really gross about coffee, and I don't know what it is. Look at McDonald's trying not to offend anyone. Well, I'm not making this video to talk about coffee. I'm actually making this video to talk about college, which is why I chose to wear this shirt. I've always wanted a shirt that either said like community college on it or just college, and I found this at Goodwill, and even though it's a men's shirt, I really wanted it, so I got it. I mean, it was in the girls' aisle, you know what I'm saying? And you should never neglect looking for clothing in the men's aisle, because sometimes you can find really cool stuff, and that's a tip that I got from some YouTube channel long ago. Anyway, I wanted to talk about college and mainly how no degree is useless, and I also wanted to talk about how my college experience was and is, because I'm still in college, a different college than I was in previously. So I kind of just woke up this morning and I decided that I wanted to make this video ready or not, because I need to talk about it, and I needed to talk about it sooner or later, and there's so much that I have to say about it, negative and positive, and I've just avoided it because I avoid things in my life because I don't want to face them. But I need to face my college experience and get it out there, and maybe I'll, help someone who's going through similar things as me, or show someone that their degree is not useless and that there's something good about it that I will explain in a moment. The reason your degree is not useless is because you went to college for whatever reason. You got experience in whatever you got experience in. Or you had an experience at college, I should say. And you got education or knowledge in whatever it was that you went for. You met people at college who helped shape and mold you, even if they were negative people or if they were positive people. And those people impacted you somehow, whether you see it or not. I mean, you can get impacted by someone you see once in your life, on the street, and they say something amazing that stays with you forever. So if you were in a classroom for a whole semester with someone, I'm sure there's something that they've said that has stuck with you somewhere in your brain, in your heart, somewhere, and you will pull from that later, probably after college, because maybe you didn't really want to use the knowledge you were gaining while you were in college, and you were just all about, let me just get this done really quick so I can move on and go have fun with my friends, or so I can focus on being introverted and just do the things that I like to do by myself. I was mostly the introverted one in college. So that brings me back to talking about my experience when I was in college. First, I went to a university, and it's kind of a long story, but I'll just tell it anyway. It's kind of embarrassing because it's sort of a confession to the people that were involved in getting me in college, how I really felt about going to college. So, basically, I'll just throw it out there. I went straight from high school into college. I did not know I was going to college until senior year, that last semester of my senior year at high school. I had not thought about college. It crossed my mind the thought of community college, like just briefly, I was like, I'll probably just go to community college. The thought crossed my mind, but it wasn't like I sat there and looked up colleges online or visited really any colleges at all, because at the time I was really into like my personal art and the things that I liked to do, my hobbies, that I didn't really consider them to be possible college options for me. I didn't think I could do what I was doing as an artist, and I didn't think I could do that as a career, so I just didn't even bother thinking about that. It was my hobbies that I ended up feeling like I had to give up when I went to college. And the funny thing is, I went to college for something super artsy. Just a completely, like, a different art. That art ended up being something that I really did not want to do as a career, and especially didn't want to teach that art as a career. And I didn't particularly feel like I was that talented in that skill, and I did not want to teach it, because you should only teach a subject that you are passionate about. You should never go into something and stay in that something that you're in if it really makes you feel like death, if it makes you feel horrible and you would much rather be doing something else. You should always do what you feel is right for you, no matter what anybody says. And that's so hard. I went to college because I was being mentored and sort of guided by this lady, this really nice lady. She had the best of intentions. She was trying to help me. And she basically took my hand and dragged me through the double doors of a university without a whole lot of preparation. So she basically did everything for me. She chose my major for me, basically. I mean, she like laid it in front of me like, there's a scholarship for this. It's something your speed, and it's available. You need to go audition for this. You need to get this scholarship so you're taken care of, and yada yada yada. Do it. Yes, no, go. And I was like, well, I hadn't had much time to think about this. I think I thought about it for like one day, and then I was like, okay, it didn't really take much time to think about it or put much thought into what I wanted to do with my life for the next 4 years. So that's basically what happened. So she picked my major for me. She set up meetings with advisors, financial counselors, people in the office buildings that were important people that I needed to be talking to, but I didn't really talk to them that much, so I didn't know how to get scholarships, and I didn't really know what they were. I didn't really understand the importance of them, what it means to keep a scholarship, maintain it throughout the course of your education. I didn't really understand that. I didn't understand how to talk to people like on the phone. I didn't really have much adult interactions going on, so I didn't really know how to talk to adults. So I basically was still in a high school mentality when I went into college. So I didn't really get well-rounded in that area until like senior year, because she was there the whole time guiding me but doing everything for me. So she wasn't really guiding me, she was just kind of doing everything for me so that I could just focus on my studies and get good grades and then graduate. I feel like I wasn't properly guided into adulthood. However, I learned that now I have to take the actual steps of being an adult, and that's going to be hard no matter what. So once you know that, you can't really blame anybody anymore for the fact that you were clueless in college, or for the fact that you decided to do something because you felt pressured to do it. So at the end of the day, as much as I would like to say, like, you did this and you did that and this was all your fault, at the end of the day, it was really my fault, because it was my choice that I wanted to say yes to people. So if you don't want to be that person that regrets that they said yes, then if there's one thing you need to know before going to college, it's how to say no. And that, kids, is how to say no to college 101. As I'm wearing a college t-shirt. So what ended up happening was I was so resentful. I realized I hated my major, and I knew this the second week of school. I knew I did not want to do this major. I didn't want to let her down and have her be upset with me, so I was basically scared into staying. And I didn't really know at that time exactly what I wanted to do with my hobby, which was actually something I was really passionate about. So, second week of school, I was very doubtful. I was like, wait. I had just figured out that it was a teaching degree. I wasn't even aware. Like, I wasn't aware that this degree is an art that you're doing. But it's also in the education field. So you're going to have art that you're going to teach. Not art as in like painting, art as in dancing. So I was a dance major. Dance education major. So I knew I didn't want to do that art for a living, and I knew I didn't want to do teaching for a living. Second week of school, that scared the crap out of me, and I know some things are supposed to scare the crap out of you, and then that means that you're passionate about them, but this scared the crap out of me because I knew I was not passionate about it, and that it would make me very unhappy. So if you know that on the second week of school, change your major. Change your major 8 times. It does not matter. Just make sure that you are doing something you want to do, or you shouldn't even be at college in the first place. Go get a job, work somewhere, and then continue doing your hobby, and then just support that. So, I knew second week of school I didn't want to do this major, but I kept with it. I was like, maybe I will grow to love this major. And that sounds like, sort of like an arranged marriage, you know? Which I have nothing against arranged marriages, but sometimes all marriages, sometimes they don't work out. Sometimes you and your college degree are not a good match, and you should part ways. I really thought that by staying at my school and staying in the degree that I was in, that I would grow to love the art of dance as a profession. Now, I've always loved dance, and I loved to do dance as a fun activity, and it was just something I considered fun. And I respect anyone who is a teacher, because that's freaking hard, and I respect anyone who loves to dance and is really good at it, or just people who love to dance, period, people who create dance. I just love songwriting, music, things like that. Not really music theory, just, songwriting. And that's my main thing. Second year of school, I had a breakdown. I was sitting at the table with my roommates. We were all sitting around at the lunch table. It's not really a lunch table, like this isn't high school. It was in the student union, and we always ate in the student union together. So I kind of was sitting there just talking about how I hated my major, which I often talked about. I think everyone in my, who I lived with, all my roommates knew I hated my major. And then I was just projecting that towards everyone. I was like, I would even tell people in my major that I wasn't passionate about it and that I didn't even want to be a teacher. And they were like, oh, I've always wanted to be a teacher. And I was like, why would you want to do that? I didn't understand because it wasn't my passion. So I think people were starting to, like, be like, okay, what is up with this girl? Like, why is she here? What is she doing with her life? So, yes, I was that girl. I broke down and I was in tears because I was like, ooh, like, I don't want to do this career, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't like it, and I want to do music. Wah! And they were like, okay, and they're like, all right, just change your major then. And I was like, I can't. I simply cannot change my major. So I stayed with it for the next 2 years. At this point, I knew I wasn't going to fall in love with it and that I was just doing this to make other people happy. And I wasn't, I just had accepted my fate at this point, because what are you going to do? You can't take back those 2 years. If I had changed my major, if I had been confident enough in my decision making as an adult at 18 years old and was wise enough to have changed my major the second week of school and maybe gotten a different scholarship for something more music related, then I wouldn't have wasted, I say wasted because it was something I didn't want to do at the time. I wouldn't have wasted those 2 years, and then I wouldn't have the next 2 years in front of me in which I would have to stick with the degree, because once you've had the first 2 years, if you try to change your major like right in the middle of your program, it's kind of like you're going to have to start a whole new program in that college, and you're going to have to stay at school a lot longer because you broke it, like you broke up with it. You're going to have to start all over again, basically. I mean, minus, your general courses that you have to take. I didn't really want to do that. I kind of just wanted to be like, all right, that's 4 years down the drain. I'm just going to let it go. I'm just going to take one for the team here, and when I leave, good riddance, goodbye, I'm done, So I stayed for the next 2 years, and then this year, 2015, I graduated college. What a big accomplishment. You graduated college. You're the first one in your family, in your immediate family, who's graduated from college. Congratulations. You are not a screw-up, and you have done everything you're supposed to do for other people to make them happy and not to make yourself happy, because you are a scholarly girl. Woo! Go you! You win the trophy. Where is my graduation photo right now? I need to go get my graduation photo. I gotta show you my plaque. Yes! You graduated from college. Look at that. You even went as far as to order your graduation photos. Yeah. Man, I was getting a little emotional right there. That was weird. Because I'm so... I was being so sarcastic right now, and it was like a little heartbreaking. Now, let's talk about what it means to be grateful. What does it mean to be grateful? Oh shoot. Look, I graduated college and I can't even do things the right way. What it means to be grateful. You can't be grateful unless you're grateful, okay? Some people don't get to go to college. Some people are busting their butts right now, working extra hours at their night shift to make money, to go to college, to do something that they want to do. Me? This is going to sound horrible. I'm grateful for some things that happened to me in college. I'm grateful that I made a friend. A couple of friends, okay? But one really, really close friend who will always be there, and I'm never going to regret that I met this person and that she was someone who's always there for me, and she's my best friend, you know what I'm saying? I met my best friend in college. That's invaluable. You cannot take back those experiences in college that will stick with you. Why would you want to? Those were good things. That's like your mom coming to you and saying, I wish I'd never married your dad because he was a bad person. And you're like, you know, calculating. You're going, if you hadn't married my dad, you never would have had me. Or basically, if you never had sex with my dad, you never would have had me. So what you really regret is your whole life that you spent wasted getting this guy and then getting with this guy and then getting pregnant with me. That's kind of what you're saying. If you're saying that you hate your degree and that you wish you'd never gone to college for this stupid, useless degree that you hate, then you're saying you regret making lifelong friendships and you regret having an experience that made you grow, and you regret even being able to go to college in the first place. So that kind of makes you like a bad person if you say that. So yeah, don't hate everything about college. I know there's a lot to hate about college, but don't hate that. Don't hate the experience. There is like a zombie apocalypse going on outside my room. The cats are meowing. My brother's yelling. My niece just got here. Okay. Anyway. So for those parts of my college experience, I'm grateful. And I will always be grateful for those things. I'm grateful for scholarships now, even though I totally screwed up. Excuse me. Even though I totally screwed up on the first semester of my university experience, and I lost a scholarship because I didn't know what the heck I was doing, girl. I was trying to work. I was trying to do this job that was really hard on campus, and it was technical support, and I was like, I don't even know how to work this. I don't know what I'm doing. I ended up quitting that job because I could not handle a job my first semester, and then I ended up losing a scholarship because I just didn't understand, and I wasn't in the swing of it, and I didn't understand that you have to like keep these scholarships. You have to keep your GPA up to keep scholarships. I didn't understand that. So, yeah, I lost a scholarship that year, and that was when I whipped it into shape, and I was like, gotta keep this money, you know what I'm saying? And I also got loans, so that's another thing I didn't want to do in college, but I had to, mainly because I lost that scholarship. So, whatever. What's past is past, right? Move on, you know? Move on with your life. Get on with it. So, this video became extremely long. I did not know a person could talk this much. A person can talk this much, in case you didn't know. Okay, so that was my first college experience, and that is a very, very, like, skeleton version of my college experience. There's so much that happened that I can't even put it all in one video. Like, I don't even want to tell you about community college, because that's a different experience altogether. And that actually happened after my university experience. And I don't want to cram too much information into one video. So I'm going to make a part 2, and I'm going to tell you about community college, because I went to university and then I went to community college after, which is not really how it's supposed to work, because you're supposed to take your degree that you get, you know, your 4-year your bachelor's degree, and you're supposed to use it and go work, and you're not really supposed to go back to school unless you're getting a higher, if you're not going to get a higher degree, then what are you doing, girl? What are you doing? So, yeah, I can't go on. I cannot go on like this. So I'm going to have to stop talking now and save that for part 2. Talk to you later. Bye.